Right now at 10, new body camera video released in the shooting deaths of 2 Bristol police officers. We'll tell you about the efforts to support the city's police department and the families of those officers.
Also, 9 people are injured after a Metro North train crashed into a truck stopped on the tracks. We'll tell you what this could mean for your morning commute.
And Senator Richard Blumenthal meeting with Ukrainian Americans here in Connecticut. The legislation he's pushing to show support for Ukraine. And we begin at 10 as we're learning more information tonight about what happened the night 2 Bristol police officers were shot and killed and another officer injured. Good evening. I'm Jen Bernstein.
And I'm Ben Goldman. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Tonight, we're getting a very first look at the newly released body cam footage of the night that accident happened.
The Office of the Inspector General notes in that new report, the investigation is still in the preliminary stages, but we're getting a clearer picture tonight into how this senseless tragedy unfolded. In that report, Officer Alec Iorato was justified in killing 35-year-old Nicholas Brutcher. Officer Iorato hit Brutcher, who was at least 75 to 80 feet away. The Office of the Inspector General says when 3 Bristol police officers responded to a 911 call, the Inspector General believes was made by Nicholas Brutcher, who allegedly ambushed those officers from behind. But one officer managed to get away. Officer Iorato was shot in his leg, but was able to make his way around the house and back to a police cruiser. From there, he fired one shot, hitting and killing Brutcher. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner says Brutcher's cause of death was a gunshot wound to the neck with spinal cord injuries.
This kid is nothing short of a hero. I mean, he's tactically sound throughout this whole thing, which is so impressive.
The suspect's brother, Nate Brutcher, was also shot as police were being ambushed.
Meanwhile, new at 10 tonight as Bristol's police department continues to mourn the deaths of Sergeant DeMonte and Officer Hamzy. Other agents are helping protect the city.
Yeah, those departments have been assisting with patrols and filling in where needed as the department mourns 2 of its own. Fox 61's Tony Black joins us live in Berlin, which is just one of the communities stepping up to help out Bristol. Tony.
Yeah, Jen and Ben, the Berlin Police Department here is just one of many police agencies here across Connecticut shifting their resources to the Bristol Police Department following the deaths of 2 of its officers. The chief here says it's necessary and that they'll help out their colleagues in Bristol for as long as they need it.
It's going to take a long time. There's a lot of shock.
It will be a difficult road to recovery in Bristol as the community and its police department mourn the death of 2 Bristol police officers. Sergeant Dustin DeMonte and Officer Alex Hamzy were killed in the line of duty Wednesday. Berlin Police Chief Matthew McNally knew them both through a cadet program. He knew Officer Hamzy on a personal level.
He was a very good professional. A phenomenal guy.
The 2 were killed Wednesday while responding to a call in what police believe was an ambush. Another officer was injured. Since then, agencies from across the state have offered up support to their fellow men and women in blue.
The union president put out a list. Anybody who wants to help, and we got volunteers. All our officers are volunteering.
Departments like Southington and Waterbury, to name a few, have been helping with patrol, dispatch, and wherever else it's needed. State police took over patrolling in the days after the shooting and continued to assist. Sergeant Christine Geltima can't recall such a devastating crime happening in the state.
I know there were a couple Bristol police officers that were there to help in case we had questions about their communities.
The 2 in blue say law enforcement is a big community, a family.
We are brothers and sisters that wear a badge. Whenever something like this happens, we always want to find a way to help, and this is a way for somebody to help.
Officers from Berlin, for example, will ride along with a Bristol officer. Chief McNally says it's support in these difficult times.
It's systemic throughout law enforcement that in times of crisis, other agencies come to assist.
Although Berlin PD is a smaller department, that didn't stop them from finding a way to shift officers to Bristol. Different patches, same job, he says.
We would not feel good about ourselves if we didn't do something.
A Bristol police officer says the support they have received has helped officers not have to worry about work as they mourn. Now, state police want to emphasize that there is help for those in law enforcement who may be struggling mentally because of this tragedy. People can call 988, which is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Now, how long these agencies will be helping out in Bristol, they say that depends on how long Bristol leadership say that help is needed. Live in Berlin, Tony Black, Fox 61 News.
Tony, thank you. And new at 10, there's also an effort to help the families of Sergeant DeMonte and Officer Hamzy. One fundraiser has collected more than $200,000 for them. Fox 61 DeAndrea Turner joins us live in Bristol tonight to tell us about that effort. DeAndrea.
Well, you guys, I'm here at Bristol Police Department, like you said, by this memorial, and it just keeps getting bigger by the hour, whether it's flowers, people bringing in food for the officers, or even writing letters. They're just here to show their respect. The latest person coming just a few minutes ago. And I spoke with a little boy who was here today and one officer to talk a little bit about how you can continue to help.
My name is Jason Roberts. You guys are heroes. When I grow up, I want to be a police officer. I know you're in heaven, but still thank you for your service. And when I'm a police officer, I'm gonna be just as good as you.
People grieve in different ways, through tears, showing their respect at a memorial, and even writing letters, like 7-year-old Jason and his family.
I want her to be kind.
Kindness like this is overflowing in this city, especially on the front steps of Bristol Police Department.
It's awful that it took a tragedy to bring us closer, but it's been really amazing to see.
The memorial outside of the police station for the 2 officers killed in the line of duty continues to grow by the minute.
We lost our 2 best officers, but we lost 2 great men.
Officer Dustin DeMonte.
He was the life of a party. He was the best dancer I've ever met.
And Officer Alex Hamzy.
You knew he was in a room if he was there. He was funny. He would take the shirt off his back for anybody.
But these officers, this town, and the fallen officer's family are still left to grieve the men who were taken from them.
They're going to have to go through birthdays and Christmases and Father's Days without the people that should be there with them.
That's why Bristol Police Department is making sure that people know about the Fund the First fundraiser that will directly benefit both of the families.
We keep increasing our goal because I don't think we can help these families enough.
The fundraiser already meeting nearly $220,000 of its $250,000 goal.
It's like the best part of my day is hitting refresh on my phone and seeing that fund grow.
An act of kindness that will go a long way.
And I don't ever want them to have to look at their bank account or bills and worry. And that's what we're trying to accomplish, is getting the word out about this fund and doing everything that we can so that they don't ever have to worry about that again.
And you guys, something that really stood out to me that Officer Hogan said is that they are going to go the rest of their lives during their birthdays and holidays without their husbands and without their fathers. And he also told us today that just yesterday, they celebrated Officer DeMonte's little boy's birthday with a birthday party, his first birthday without his dad. If you'd like to know how you can help with this fundraiser, you can check that out on our website at fox61.com. For now in Bristol, DeAndrea Turner, Fox 61 News.
Very heartbreaking, DeAndrea. Thank you very much. And Bristol police say that there will be a joint funeral for Sergeant DeMonte and Officer Hamzy at Rentschler Field in East Hartford. That's going to be on Friday at 11 a.m. It is open to the public, so if you want to pay your respects, you are requested to get there by 9:30. Bristol Public Schools will also be closed on Friday for the funerals.
No easy way to move on from that tonight, but we do. So let's get to the Weather Watch here with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, guys. Scattered showers and rumbles of thunder out there. These will be around through about midnight, the chance for a downpour or a thunderstorm. After that, there will be a little break in the action and a few lingering scattered showers around daybreak tomorrow, but that's about it. Let's take a look at where we're seeing some storms right now, and this is in southern Connecticut in Middlesex County, Chester, Deep River, up through East Haddam. Some very heavy rainfall, and you can actually see a lightning strike that recently recently occurred as well, and probably pretty breezy within that as well. Nothing damaging. These aren't severe, but just enough to kind of get your attention. And another line here from Coventry up through Stores, Ashford, and Eastford, where we're also seeing some areas of rain and a few rumbles of thunder. Again, western Connecticut's calming down. This line will continue to push east. You're noticing it through around midnight. Then a break in the action, following which some additional showers are possible early tomorrow morning. So it might be a little bit damp when you start the day off tomorrow. Early clouds, a leftover shower. Then we break for sunshine and temperatures will climb into the upper 50s. So after the rain moves out, we are in for a cooler stretch of weather, but it will also be really beautiful. We'll talk about it, plus timing out when there could be some frost in the forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. We're following some developing news tonight in Waterbury after 9 people were injured when a Metro North train hit a tractor trailer that had stopped right on the tracks. MTA police say that truck driver noticed crossing gates closing but couldn't move out of the way in time. There were about 35 people on board, and the people who weren't injured were taken by bus to their destination.
I see the driver leave the wheel and come running towards the back of the train. And he braced himself behind the seats.
We did have a diesel spill from the tractor trailer truck. There will be a company coming in to pump off the remaining diesel in the saddle tanks.
Police are now investigating what led up to that crash. The MTA says it's providing substitute bus service between Waterbury and Beacon Falls.
Well, new video tonight released by New Haven police shows a car wanted in a shooting last month. Police say this vehicle right here, that the suspect used it to get away from the September 26th shooting on Reed Street. A 17-year-old was shot in the incident. He was treated and released from the hospital.
Bloomfield police arresting a man after he's accused of hitting an officer with his car. It happened on Mountain Avenue shortly after 11 o'clock this morning. 37-year-old Rafaelito Ares of Torrington was pulled over for a misused license plate. That's when police say Ares drove off, hitting the officer with the side door and mirror of the car. He was caught in West Hartford shortly after leaving the scene. The officer has minor injuries. Ares is now facing several charges.
And new at 10, Senator Richard Blumenthal met with Ukrainian Americans from Connecticut as he pushes for new legislation in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Senator Blumenthal meeting with them at the Ukrainian National Home in Hartford this evening. The proposed legislation would stop arms sales to Saudi Arabia following the country's decision to side with Russia to cut oil production.